We're going to keep this train a going. We got some
Thick Boy Nation, I'm getting in charge.
Yeah.
Those things ain't coming back.
We cried at us like
Beat up
to my nuts.
I got a lot of fertilizer.
What kind of podcast is this?
You want to pet my dog? You love this neighborhood.
Take my money.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your story.
Like,
Like,
not me. Oh my God.
this isn't going to go well. We're in the old donuts. There are a lot of old people sitting in there. Wait. How many days do I get off?
There, balloon.
Yeah. It's a change a day in our lives.
Welcome to the PM&A podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the PM&A podcast number 35.
What is going on?
How's it going, Ernie?
Not too bad, buddy. How are you?
What is up? All things are good. So,
Good.
guys, welcome to the podcast. As always, we are always brought to you by Always Bearded Lifestyle. They want you to take care of your beard. They have beard grooming products formulated with natural clean certified ingredients. They sell beard oil, beard wax, beard, and also the beard cream. Yeah.
All the bearded, bearded.
All the beard cream. That's what we like to promote. Guys, we're also, just so you know, we're always supported by this guy. His name is General Watson, and he's on YouTube. You can check out his YouTube channel. He does first-person shooter videos. He's putting out content. He does live videos. It's gaming stuff. It's like 5-minute videos, and they're a lot of fun to watch if you're into gaming. It's just entertainment, and he's a great guy, and we're going to have him on the podcast in a couple weeks. But we just always like to shout him out. It's good content, you know, like if you're just hanging out, like on YouTube, and you want to see some cool, funny content. He's hilarious. His name is General Watson. He's on YouTube. Check him out.
Did he release some videos already, Joe?
He's released a bunch of videos in the new year of 2020.
About 3 of them?
About it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's doing pretty good. Guys, we want to introduce Vinansio.
Before we do that, Joe.
Oh, do we do?
So, I wanted to ask you something.
What?
Why didn't I get a throw pillow for Christmas?
Because you don't deserve it.
Well, you know what? For those of you that also didn't get a throw pillow, I got you covered. So all you got to do is head over to our friends at TeePublic, tpublic.com. Head over to the website there and jump on and hit the search button. And in that search button, you're going to hit the PM&A logo or PM&A podcast. And you can get yourself a PM&A podcast throw pillow. You can get yourself a PM&A podcast cell phone case. You can get yourself a child's onesie. You can get some stickers and a
got a bunch of
partridge
cool
and
stuff.
a pear tree.
And guys, just so you know, if you are buying the stuff, we see a small portion of the sales, and we're going to put all those sales right back into the podcast, A. And B, we're also going to put all of the money back into the fund for National Service Dog Association, where they service dogs, they train them, and they feed them, and like they get them ready to help people out in our community. And we're all about helping out our community.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you done with the ads?
I'm done now, sir.
Guys, we'd like to introduce Vinansio. He is the mission coordinator for Mission Ventures Canada. How's it going, man?
I'm going good. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to come out. Finally.
This has been the podcast that I've been like, sure, when do we get the South Sudan guy? And he's like, he's busy, man. We'll try and get him this day. So then we tried to book it the one day, and it was like,
guy,
no.
He's just always busy.
Yeah, super excited.
I've been busy like since my whole life. So.
When aren't you busy?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get right into it. So you're from South Sudan.
Yeah, right now, South Sudan is my home.
Yeah.
But previously called Sudan.
Yeah.
Sudan is a country in the northeast of Africa. I was born in the southern part of it. Lived there. But what is interesting is that when I started to know my environment around and starting to grow up, I realized it was not a stable country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a country that has a lot of ups and downs, a lot of turmoils. And by the way, it's a British colony.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like they speak English. But when the British left, we have some Arabs who migrated from Saudi Arabia. Historically, they were coming to Sudan to trade, right? And so they started settling. After they settle and they begin to trade and they begin to grow as a big community and they begin to control the land. So when the British came in, first French came in, I guess, and then British came in, and I think the British pushed the French further, and then they now settle and rule.
When was that?
It was
Like the 1700s?
It's let me say from 1940s something.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, in mid 40s.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, until it ended in 1956. That's what they call independent, right? So now, when the independence came, which means the British left.
Yeah.
They hand the power, the government, into the hands of these Arabs, these migrants who now become Sudanese.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
And they settle in the north.
Mm.
You know, by the way, one thing that you wanna identify Sudan with is the longest river in the world is in Sudan.
The Nile?
The Nile River. So they settled in the northern part of the Nile, close to Egypt, right? But we were way in the south because it kind of like more. So now the country is like more south is more African, north is more Arabs and Islamic, right? But then the whole thing became so controlled by the northern government, which is the Arabs now. And what I learned was before I was born and after I'm born, I learned that they want to share power. Like the southern people say, look, this is our country. You just came here, immigrated, and you settled. Yeah. So we want to let's share this, this
the land, I guess.
The land and rule together. Then the north people say no.
No.
No. Is that what it was like before you left as well?
Yeah, before I left, yes. It became even worse when I left. You know. So I think I guess the northern people, the southern people started fighting against the north, like politically.
Okay.
And then they were not powerful enough, so they went to the bush and carried guns, and war started. Right.
Like a civil war.
Yeah, civil war. Maybe 10 to 15 years after the British left.
No way.
Yeah, and that carried along until 1972. Then there was a peace that's negotiated, and they signed it. They call it Addis Ababa Agreement because it was signed in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Okay.
So they negotiated that, which means they had wanted to give the southern part of the country an autonomy to rule themselves.
Right.
But it's still they are kind of tied. They are attached. That's not really full autonomy.
Yeah.
That was what was signed in the agreement. But I think down the road they also realized that it's not practically wasn't working.
No.
That's when now when the Addis Ababa agreement. I think that was even the time that I was born. Because it's in early 70s. So, so after that, then 10 years after that, then the southern people and from my part realized that the northern people is not really, they were not honest. They are dishonest. They didn't give them that full control of this house, and they didn't even actually give them enough portion of positions to be able to share the government. So again, a group of soldiers rebelled in May 1983. Whoa. And they rebelled, and they created another movement, and the civil war started. And so it carried on until when now I'm grade 6, then I begin to realize things are not good. Grade 7 over there until like I finished my grade 9. Then things become really worse.
Really?
At that time we hear we see people running from the villages to town. They become displaced within the town. There were no food. So and then actually one of the events that I know that at the time was really hit almost everybody, and now at the time I was a little bit grown up. Was 1988 that there was a famine, but it was politically created.
Really?
Yeah, it's not that because you see what happened was that people in the south become more depending on the north. Food has to be brought from the north to the south to feed the people in there. So because the war is in the south now, no one can really cultivate even small farming, because now it's not safe, right?
Right.
So it's not safe for people to go to the villages and cultivate and bring food to town to sell, right?
Right.
And the people are pushed from the villages to town, so there's no land to
Was
cultivate.
the waterway even safe, like to transport
The
that way?
waterway was shut down in 1984.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a waterway.
Yeah.
That was actually bringing the food. At the time, there was a trading system that was going on.
Yeah.
People come from this house, and even not only a cargo waterway, but it was also a one means of transportation that can carry people from the south in big numbers,
Right.
can bring people from the north in a big number. So the 88 was tough. Everybody kind of like don't know now what to do, and so most of the people now actually fled to the north, thinking if they come to north, which is like the capital, Khartoum, maybe if things are gonna be okay there, they will be welcome. But and I was the last person who actually, not the last, but I waited for some time because I didn't have any way to leave at the time. I was really young. And I don't know how things goes.
Yeah.
But 1989. So then now there was the guerrilla or the rebels actually were advancing towards the big city in which is my hometown in Juba. They were advancing very fast, and they were really sending missiles, and kind of fall in the city and kill people, and not the kind of one that we see in Iraq and Iran, but they're powerful enough to destroy, right? So a lot of people ran to the north. So that's when I left and I came to the northern part of the country. We were welcome, but we were welcome as not as a Sudanese really. We were welcome as a displaced people, almost like a refugee in your own country. In your own country.
Yikes.
So,
wow.
So they put the word in it like a displaced, right? So, but the treatment that we get is actually it's a refugee.
Yeah.
Because you don't have land to live, you don't have a house. You're given a space that's not, northern part of the country is a desert. Just to let you know, it's more desert.
Mm-hmm.
In the south, it's more rainforest, and there are two climatic zones, in the north, there's more desert. You only receive rains maybe once a year or twice. Yeah, even though the Nile pass by.
Yeah.
So that's the only source of water that people benefit from it. But the entire vegetation and the land is really more desert. So when people fled from the south, they kind of like allocated in the southern desert area, and I was like, stay here and whatever you want to do, So we created our own way of living in the desert.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was that hard?
Also the hardest part because water was not really accessible.
Jeez.
It has to be transported by donkeys,
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was not that's like they created this barrel, like they can put two barrels together, like this metal barrel, right? They put it together, and then donkeys how they carry stuff, right?
Yep.
So they put this barrel in the wheel, and then they put it in the donkey. Then they travel a long way to get the water, fetch the water, and bring it to our areas.
Yeah, you just couldn't just contact Amazon and tell them what you need.
At that time, I wish that was Amazon. But anyway, and you have to buy that water, and it's very expensive.
No.
And you don't have any income, right? You don't have income, and so it was really hard. But we survived. I survived there from 1989 to 1989 to 1995.
These guerrilla units, like, were they supported by the city that they were from, or were they kind of like they not to say they're the rejects of them, but were they weren't speaking for like the main kind of government of that land, were they?
Well,
that region, sorry.
The guerrilla was actually pushing the agenda of they want Sudan to be a unified country, but they also want equality. They want justice. They want this house to share the government together. They want freedom of religion, and And by the way, one thing that really made the war worse was that the government in the north now decided to say we want the whole country to become Islamic country.
Oh, jeez.
That was the big blow.
Whoa.
And not only this to become a Muslim country, but also we're gonna impose Sharia law. And I don't know, you guys have what's Sharia law?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, like the certain rules that are imposed to how
That's
people
so
live,
strict,
right?
man.
How women can dress,
What you can eat, what you can't eat.
Yeah, how even the mode of transportation, buses were divided. It's like a man has to sit in a certain section of the bus, and a woman has to sit in a certain section of the bus. The interesting part is if you're married, married with your wife, and you want to board a bus, you're gonna sit separate.
No way.
And so that was mid-90s, and things became worse.
Well, she's mad at me. It's not a horrible idea.
Yeah.
We get some space for a little bit.
Give me space,
Yeah.
right?
I'll see when we get to our
See you
spot.
later.
Yeah.
Oh man, and
Oh jeez.
no beer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out.
If anybody,
Because it's like against the Quran, right?
yeah, against the Sharia law. So if anyone caught drunk, you're gonna be penalized, put in the jail, fine.
What a way of like living.
So it was a harsh kind of life. Imagine you live in the harsh condition, first of all,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then now
Yeah, it's not fun as it is.
and your freedom is also been removed. So
How many religions would you say were in
well,
place
the
at
two
that
major
time?
one, Islamic and Christianity,
Yeah.
right? So this rebel group were really advocating to say we need freedom of religion.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to say we don't want to say no Muslims. We don't want to say the country should be Christian. No, we want this country is a multi-religious country. It's a multi-ethnic country.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody should be given the rights to practice what they want to practice, right? And freedom of religion, freedom of whatever, human rights. But then they not say no. We are in power, and we are Muslim people, and we want everybody to be Muslim.
Were these guerrilla groups, were they kind of like enforcing a religion as well? Like, were they kind of targeting people that they didn't believe to be either Muslim or Christian?
No,
or?
really. Good question, because initially I didn't answer your question, and that is say it was supported by who. So basically it was part of the government soldiers who were under certain southern commander that broke away and formed the guerrilla.
Okay.
Oh.
And so what they did was they crossed the border to Ethiopia, and then the Ethiopian government hosted them. So at the time, so they were coming in. When they come to attack, what they mean was they just come to
They invaded.
fight.
They invaded, right?
Yeah, and they come to fight the government.
Yeah.
But when normally when it's not really 100% true that when the two people are fighting, somebody has to be hurt, right?
Yeah.
So most of these civilians were the victims and
Right.
stuff like that during the fight.
Was it just the government had horrible defense, or was there just that many guerrilla infiltrator coming, like guerrilla fighters?
The guerrillas were really just doing their best. They didn't have the ammunitions that the government has.
Yeah.
Right. But the government was supported by other Islamic countries.
Oh, I see.
I
see what you're
They
saying.
wanted the agenda to.
Yeah, so they almost didn't want to defend themselves, because then that would mean that they would have to either murder what these people were coming in and create kind of a bigger problem.
Yeah, in fact, they were defending themselves. They were fighting hard, and they were now. By the time that I was about to leave the country, I was reached to the level that now they are recruiting people from high school graduates.
Oh man.
Yeah. So the moment that you graduate from school, then even if you have good grades, you don't go to college or university direct.
Yeah, so they had like a draft, right?
Yeah, so they gotta go and get trained, and eventually then they will let you go to school after you train, a full soldier.
Yeah.
Then when there's a time for deployment, you can expect to be deployed anytime, right? You can expect it to drop the school anytime.
And this happened after you left?
Before I left.
Before you left?
Yeah,
Do you know anybody that like when you were going to school got drafted?
Few of my colleagues in school that were some of them were deployed. I was trained too.
I didn't know that.
I got a training. I got a military training, man. I can
No way.
shoot. No, I'm not gonna shoot.
Wow.
But
How long
I
was
got-
the training? 6 weeks?
No, come on, man. This is a real military training. 6 months.
6 weeks.
Well, I don't know.
6 weeks isn't even what they do for McDonald's.
No. It's
I don't know.
Between three months and 6 months, depending on on what they want you to become,
Whoa.
But so we are trained, and then now you can go to college. And then at the time that I was leaving, actually, there was now actually most of these high institutions like universities, colleges, education, and have shut down, and so they recruit those who have gone to training, and they actually.
That's our new soundtrack music.
Yeah. So what they did is that they created this system that you cannot leave the country unless you have been given the government giving you a release to leave.
So you didn't have to go fight, did you?
No, I didn't because but I was almost.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was almost going to be
You just got
deployed.
out.
Yeah.
So you did your 6 months training, right?
Yeah.
You finished that, and then how long after that 6 month training did you leave?
I was 94 that I did, and then I left the end of 95.
So were you paid for that training?
No. It's you kind of like the way they design the system or the program is that you train as a soldier, and because you're gonna defend your country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a national service.
Okay.
So you're not paid anything.
But you were basically paid, like you didn't have to worry about food or where you slept and all that, right?
You go to the military
They took care.
training camp.
Yeah.
And there they give you food, they give you everything that you need to finish the training.
And you would stay on the base
And
where they would train you, right?
Until when you're done, then you come home, and then now you apply for college.
Almost
Yeah.
like the reserves.
And then,
kinda sounds like.
yeah.
How far from home was this place?
It was they have some training camps around the on the neighbor what do you call it on the outskirts of the city, but the one that I went to was within the city, not too far from this.
So you could, like, if you had like a weekend leave, you could go home.
They will allow you to go home.
Yeah.
Just for a weekend, maybe once in a month if you're lucky. Otherwise, they won't allow you.
And who all for family did you have down there when you were still there?
Well, my family.
Yeah.
My family was around. They were in the town.
Okay.
But when you come to visit, just maybe a couple of hours, then you go back. But because remember, you cannot escape anyway. You cannot board a plane. All right, because first of all, to leave the country is either go by train to the northern to Egypt.
Mhm.
That was the only access, or you go by plane if you want to go by plane and to Libya or any of these surrounding countries. But now, if you go by train or by plane, you got to pass through immigration.
Yeah.
Right, and guess the immigration has this restriction: nobody leave the country except you have certain paper that was signed by certain officer to say this person is leaving and coming back or whatever.
Like a
What is it?
military
It's like
officer,
a permit.
government officer.
Oh, wow.
Like a permit, yeah.
And you had to pay for that, I assume?
Oh yeah, you got to process that and
Wow.
How long of a not that you did it, but if you did you hear about people like how long of a process that was to?
That's actually a difficult one. You cannot get it only if you know somebody in there who can.
So very rich people, that'd be like something for.
No, not really much rich, but yeah, money plays a role. But someone who do not like you to be in the system, but he wanna relieve you, yeah.
It's like a political thing.
Yeah, political stuff. So anyway, so that's how things deteriorated through this Sharia law thing. All early 1990s, to the time that I left was mid 1990s. So at the time, the government was now recruiting those young people who were graduates from high school and some of them the colleges to go and fight the rebel, because the rebels they were intensifying the fight in the north, and they're actually advancing more to some other cities in close to the north.
So sorry, I apologize. So it was in '95 when you left.
95.
So you
late
were
95, like
so
the end of 95 I left.
How old are you when they recruit you then?
How old am I?
No. When you finished your training
when
and
I
then you almost got sent out somewhere. Like, what age would you be about?
I was in my early 20s. Yeah.
I'm just thinking I was about 10. I maybe just figured out how to ride a bike.
Well, right
that's
now,
just crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty old, guy, but I don't look old.
You're young at heart.
Yeah. And my face, you can see my face. Like when I ask people, like, how old are you? And they're like, oh. Some people say, oh, you're 30.
I think I said I thought you were in your early 40s.
That's pretty good.
I was going to say 41. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, more than that, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, stick with 41 though. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But anyway, so I left in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So
how did you get out?
Well,
that's the story, right?
I have to smuggle myself. It's a kind of escape, I left the town, with the bus to a certain town at the border, and I stayed there for 2 days, kind of, and then now we have to secretly walk out to cross the border. So between that little town where, kind of the vehicle, only the vehicle can end there. You cannot find any means of transportation to go.
Yeah, so like no bus, no train or anything.
No,
like that,
nothing. Right? So between then to the border of Ethiopia is 1 day full walk from 6 to 6 if you can walk fast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna take 2 days to cross the border.
And what kind of like terrain is it to get there?
I was not a train; it was a bus.
No, terrain. Sorry, like what kind of is it like grass? Is it like gravel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just it's that area between there to the border. There's a lot of farming. Yeah.
But did you have to hide though as you were getting out?
Huh?
Did you have to sneak out? Like you had to hide?
Yeah, I had to sneak out. You meet people and they will ask you, "Where are you going?" And I'm just going to the next farm.
Oh, okay.
And you keep going like that until the last farm at the border, and like, I'm just coming close here. I'll be right back.
Are these people that live here, or are these like military people that would be approaching you, asking you?
There were some paramilitary groups.
Okay.
But not the military groups. There were paramilitary groups that were approaching. If you meet them, they'll ask you where you're going.
Yeah.
But then at the time, because those farms are more grain farms, and people will come always to work, seasonal workers, right?
Yeah.
And they will always come and harvest the grain,
so
right?
So it wouldn't be unreasonable to think that somebody was doing that, right?
Yeah, they'll identify. They know how to identify whether you're really a farmer or you're somebody who's a guerrilla agent, or you are trying to escape. So
what did you do to kind of like
overalls and a pitchfork?
Well, you have to you have to dress like a.
I was gonna say, so you wore overalls and a straw hat.
Very dirty clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Look like you really
dress the part.
Working in the farm, right?
Yeah.
So when at my journey, I met two groups of the paramilitary, paramilitary groups. Mm-hmm. One was just in the morning when I was leaving. It was close to New Year. It was a Christmas time, and so they were celebrating their. They have party, and then when I was in the morning, they were putting their clothing and putting their equipment together, because it's morning now.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, how are you doing?" And like, "Good. Where are you going, V? Good." And then like, "Oh, I'm just going to the next farm, right?" So then I pass them, then I keep going. Then the next group that I met was at the border. at the border, close to the border, of Ethiopia. So like,
Thanks.
where you going? I'm like, oh, I got some friends across the other farm. I just wanna go there, and I'll come back tomorrow. I was working on the other farm behind here, because sometimes they don't know who are working on that farm, who is working on that farm. But at least they see people moving around, right? So,
do you have to know, like, would it help to know the name of the people like that own that farm? Like, would that be something that they would ask you?
Yes, exactly. They most of the farm has owners that are known, right? They have famous names. They're known. Somebody farms, so farm, right? So you can tell them, oh, I'm going to so farm, and I got some group friends who were working there. In my case, I said, I went to Khartoum for Christmas break.
Oh.
So now I'm coming back. I'm just gonna go join my buddies. But at the border, then I don't have a reason now to tell them.
Yeah.
Because you're crossing to another country. So I told them, oh, in so and so farm, I left when I went for Christmas break. I left my buddies here, but now when I went there, they say they were on the other farm there across the border. So, because it's evening now, I can't be there on my own. Let me go and check them out. I said like, oh, okay. So we coming back tomorrow morning for work, right? So that's how I actually sneak and cross.
So did you cross by yourself? Were you by yourself?
We were two of us. So after we crossed, and then like, oh, thank God, we crossed.
Oh, man.
And we are tired now, right? And then we slept. Then the following day, we also continue our journey. Then until now, we arrive a small, very small town in Ethiopia. The second day at 9 p.m.
Whoa.
So sorry, you left in the morning to cross the border at 6?
Yeah.
And you didn't get across the border till after 6?
I left on December the 27th from that little...
Yeah, where you stayed
town,
for 2 days, right?
Yeah, a little town in Sudan.
Yeah.
And I arrived the other town in Ethiopia, the second day, which is the 28, the 9
So
p.m.
it took you 2 days to walk.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said that wasn't just like a leisurely walk, like you were boogieing to get across.
It was real smuggling, type of. You're not smuggling drugs anymore.
Yeah. No,
smuggling
yeah.
our lives.
Yeah.
But then we there's no food even for us to carry along. We just carry some water.
I was gonna say there wasn't anything at the farms that you could have picked, or
the first day after we crossed, we arrived this farm that we found some group of harvesters. So they gave us food to cook, and we make some food and we ate. Then we have rest, and then we took off in the morning again, and we walked until 9 p.m. that we arrived. Then at least over there we were able to find, we buy something. We have little money.
Well, you didn't want to bring a lot with you, so you didn't seem suspicious, right?
Yeah, you can't carry too much.
Yeah, you can't with a backpack say you're going overnight somewhere.
Yeah, because they're gonna ask. Yeah. They want to look on the backpack and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even clothing, you don't carry too many clothes because they're gonna say, okay, where are you going with so many? If you are in the farm, that means you used to be in the farm, so you have your other stuff in the farm. So
yeah.
So you went for Christmas break, so you're just coming back, right? So why are you carrying these too many things? So you don't want to let them suspect you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be simple, right? So
you get over the border.
Yeah.
You find this little town the next day.
And then we slept over, rested, and we took the bus to the capital. And my first country of asylum was Eritrea.
Can you pronounce that again? Sorry.
Eritrea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now we went to Asmara, and I live in Asmara for 6 months, and I declare my refugee status there, and actually I still have the ID card that they give it to you there. Also, now, and then I begin to learn about refugee life. There's no much freedom. you cannot really go too far. You know, you stay in the camps. They just provide you food.
Wow.
Nothing else, right? And the place to sleep. That's all. So I stayed there for 5 months. I was like, man, that's not life here.
Was it really like?
Yeah, that's not
bad?
life here. It's like you are in a maybe, I don't know, what is it called? You know, like a prison that, you know, like a house arrest type of thing.
Okay.
You know, now you can move around, but you can't really go too far, right?
It's almost like the ghettos.
Yeah, you
kind of
can
thing.
go to the town, but you cannot go further than that.
Okay.
And you don't have money, and you just eat, sleep. We created certain kind of life there. We just play soccer in the evening. On the weekends, we go to church. There's an American Evangelical mission there.
Oh yeah.
That hosted us. We come on every Thursday. We come for prayer meetings, and after we finish the prayer meeting, they will prepare meals, and then we eat, and that's when we have to socialize, right? On Sunday also there was this British mission, you know. It's a type of Anglican church there, the only English church there, like formal church.
Yeah.
So we come there on Sundays and attend service, and then now we meet other people who are English speaking people. You know.
That are in the area, or
That
only people
live
that are in the camp?
That's in the area. So when I say
church.
we, that means we from the camp.
Yeah.
I see.
Camp, yeah. So I decided to say, you know what, I do not want to live this kind of life, right?
Yeah.
I kind of find myself there by surprise, right? So I was escaping some danger, but now I'm in the place where I really don't know what's my future here, right?
Yeah.
So if you later on you look at the map of Sudan, it's really big. So that is this section of South Sudan that border Congo, which is the DRC, and Uganda. And that section at that time was under the control of the rebels.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
It was under the control of rebels. There were a lot of international NGOs that go there to kind of like support the people who are not able to run away.
Right.
So it's a rebel zone, but it's still there are civilian there. So these NGOs, go there and support the people. Give them medical help, give them some, food and the way to live, right?
Yeah.
Because now it's a rebel control area. So
But if you support the rebels, then they're not gonna destroy your city, right? Like if you're supporting them, then
well, in the sense that it was not like they were there to support the rebel. For example, this is Cambridge, right? The rebel came and invaded Cambridge and took over.
yeah,
So they're in control now. Like they are the government now in Cambridge, right? So that's what, for example, what was like.
yeah. But if they're protecting you and they're taking care of you, then really you're not afraid of them.
They don't have resources. Yeah, you're not afraid of them.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
resources.
They're
so
not like a government.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
They're
saying. No,
rebels.
yeah, they're just guys
But
that
they
took over.
protect. They
Yes,
protect,
but
right?
yeah, they would be. Yeah,
They'll protect. They will give you to move around, but you're still under watch because they never know whether you really,
Yeah.
But then these NGOs come there to because the rebel themselves cannot give health care to the people. They don't
Yeah.
provide other things, necessities, right?
Vaccinations.
So vaccination and stuff like that, and and so I calculated, if I go to that side of Sudan instead of being stuck in the refugees camp, I can live better. I can actually. I've already done my first year in the college, so I can be even actually. The NGOs were actually looking for people who are a little educated. They have some education, and they can recruit them to work, and they will give them food for work.
Okay.
Because they're not allowed to give some money there or something like that at that time. Or maybe they don't have much money, I'm not sure. But they give people food for work. man, it's better than to stay in the refugees camp as an idle person without doing anything.
Yeah.
And you don't even know how long you're going to be here and what's next, right? So like, I'm going to leave this place. I'm going to leave. So one day in the morning, man, I woke up and then I went to meet the camp manager. That was still in Eritrea, Asmara, Eritrea, right? Okay. So I went to meet the camp manager and I say, sir, I really don't want to live here. I want to go. And he said, where are you going? Like, I want to go to South Sudan. And I said, what? I said, I want to go to South Sudan. Now, to go to South Sudan, you have to cross 3 other countries.
Yeah.
To go to that part where I just indicated at the border, that section of South Sudan at the border of Congo and Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
That means you have to get out of Eritrea, go by Ethiopia, because first of all, you don't have a passport. As a refugee, you don't have a passport.
Yeah, you said that little. Yeah.
All right. You can't carry passport to cross the border.
You're gonna have to go through 3 countries.
You're smuggling lot.
Yep.
So you have to come to Ethiopia, and then after that you got to go to Kenya, and then from Kenya you got to go to Uganda, and then enter to South Sudan.
Man.
So this guy like, you're joking.
You're not getting in there.
Like, no man, I'm not. And I'm like, okay, so how are you gonna do that? He asked me. I said, I'm going to go to Ethiopia, and I'm going to go to Kenya, and I'm going to go to Uganda. I was like, how do you gonna go in all these places?
Mm-hmm.
I said, don't worry about it, just release me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because if you did not release me, and if I'm caught by the local authorities, they will see me as a refugee who's running away.
Yeah.
And so they can put me in the
Jail?
in the jail. Yeah.
Oh. Or worse?
Oh yeah. And
Oh, man.
it's not fun. Maybe you cannot even survive in there.
How do they expect you to get out of that camp though?
But
when you're not really, are you given opportunities for work or anything like that?
That's nothing there. There was
there's
nothing,
nothing.
as I said.
Nothing.
Like only when you wake up, they give you a
soccer.
food by ratio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Russians.
Ratio, they give this food, and you cook and then you eat, and there's nothing to do.
So you were there for 5 months. What was the longest you've seen somebody stay there for?
Oh, I left some people there. I found some people there and I left them there.
Yeah, but
So
how long did they live there?
How long were they there for?
By the time that I was leaving, I found people there who had already been there for 2 years.
Oh. And they don't care, just sitting there doing nothing.
But they have no... They have
ambition?
Maybe no ambitions, or they don't have... Like, there's no
Too
choice.
scared, maybe.
Too scared. They cannot... They
They don't want to cross 3 countries to go somewhere.
And some of them are families, right?
Yeah, oh
With
yeah,
children.
young
So-
children and stuff.
So I was a single guy, and then there's some guys who we were together, and they left. They left without getting a permission from the camp manager. They were caught and put in jail.
Oh no!
But you also had a little bit of military training too. Like, did that kind of feel like it?
Yeah,
it helped
that
at all?
was give me like more physical strength and also more ways
Ingenuity.
of
Yeah,
maneuvering my ideas.
yeah. You're a schlub.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so it's like, okay, so what I'm gonna do for you, this card that is, you're given an identification card when you're moving in the town, and the authorities, the local authorities, the police or whatever, you kind of like, they ask you, then you give them this, then they will release it. It's written in their language.
Right.
I don't even know what they wrote, but I just see my name and my picture. So
They saw it. Did they catch you? We're like, what are you doing?
yeah, no, they never caught me. But but when he told me to leave, he said, okay, you can go, but when you're crossing the border, when you want to cross from Eritrea to Ethiopia, do not carry this identity with you, the identity card with you. Do not carry with you, and do not show the other border security on the other side, because they will know you're running from the camp here. Yeah. So when you get at the border, find your way.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that sounds real cool.
Yeah. So like, okay, so I got a little money.
Yeah.
Took the bus. Took me 2 days by bus to get to the border. So when I got to the border there, I stayed there for another 2 days. So I make friends. so that I can get some information.
Mm-hmm.
So before I cross, so now they get me information, and then now at that crossing border, that way I cross from Eritrea to Ethiopia, there's also Sudan. Sudan, where I escaped from.
Yeah.
So if you are caught there, they will automatically deport you there, back to Sudan, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's the end of it. So I asked these guys, and at the border, like, where you going, man? I say, you know what? I really want to go back to the farm. I don't want to be here. There's no job. There's nothing.
Oh.
I want to go back there to the farm. So help me to cross to Ethiopia, and I go back to the farm. I said, okay. So they just let me go cross. You know.
Wow.
Because it's not just there's a small bridge.
Yeah.
On the other side, like where you're sitting now,
Yeah.
are the Eritrean border security. On this side where I'm sitting, this is the bridge, are the Ethiopian border security. They know each other.
Yeah.
You know, they know each other because they just some of this side, the other one on that side, just the bridge.
Yeah.
This one can go to the other side there, and then they can chat and whatever. He
Yeah.
come back. Those one. So it's like,
They're buddies.
yeah, come with me. Yeah, come with me. Where this one going? Said they talk in their own language. I don't even know what they're saying. Then so okay, so
He's just going to a farm.
yeah. So I crossed the other side, and then from there they're like, man, from here find your way. Yeah. So like this is cool now. So
Wow.
I spent one night there. I bought a bus to Addis Ababa instead of going back to Sudan to the pounds.
Yeah.
I bought a bus to Addis Ababa.
Yep.
Now it's a 2-day trip by bus. So, and there are roadblocks. Roadblocks means there are control points
Mm-hmm.
where they will stop the buses and they'll make sure check everybody.
Like checkpoints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the checkpoint.
Yeah.
They will check everybody. You're going to a city, Addis Ababa, big city where the president is to do what,
Yeah.
and you're a foreigner, right? Luckily enough, I wasn't, checked. It's just I scaled through,
Whoa.
and I get to Addis.
You got a lot of good luck in the
Jeez.
story so
Yeah,
far.
I got to
Like-
Addis, and there's in Eritrea. Remember that church we used to go on Sunday?
Mm.
The pastor of that church, I used to help him.
Mhm.
I used to help him in the pulpit.
Yeah.
I used to read some what they call the Book of Common Prayer. During the sermon time, there's certain part of the service that somebody has to do it. So he put me to do those. The coolest story was that when I was still there in Eritrea, the pastor traveled to Egypt for a conference. He left in the middle of the week, and he was supposed to come back before Sunday. For some reason, he could not return on Sunday.
Mm.
There was no any minister. He was the only minister, and there were people from NGOs who come and worship in this church,
Mhm.
and there were more educated people,
Mhm.
international staff for
Right.
NGOs, right? There are people who were working in the UN, worship in that place. Actually, in fact, one of the ladies that played the piano in the church was working in the UN. There were people who work with other NGOs. They worship there, so it's like a
Yeah.
multi nationality.
But like a lot of people that were involved with helping out and with the government, the UN and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the church has a board, right? Church has a board, and these people are part of the board. These, more educated people, more
Yeah.
people who live in the country or in the city legally. They were working there legally.
Yeah.
So they are part of the church. They were. So the pastor left, and he couldn't come back, and he faxed. Those days there were no cell phone. That's not only you have to call, and calling internationally was expensive. I guess he wrote a fax and sent to the guy, one of the guy who works in one of the organization, international organization. to say, I cannot come back on this Sunday. Could somebody kind of like lead the church?
Yeah.
So he was asking this guy, can you lead the church? This guy was like, no, I can't. And then he went to ask another guy also who worked for, a Nigerian guy also who worked with another organization. And I thought he was going to do it because he was really more knowledgeable on the things of the church at the time than me, right? But he said, no, I can't do that. I can't. So finally, this guy who received the fax came to the camp. That was before I left, right?
Yeah.
So he came to the camp and asked me, hey, Vinansio. I said, yeah. He said, Pastor Derek, his name was Derek, cannot come from Egypt. So this Sunday we don't have somebody to lead us. Could you do that? Because he used to be standing with him and doing stuff. I'm like, no, man, no. He said, no, man, he can do it. I said, no. So we kind of like back and forth. Then I pause a little bit, like, okay. So I'll try.
Okay. Yeah.
So on Sunday, I prepared my little sermon. The church didn't know that the pastor was not there. So all the people who attended church, it's a big church, it's pretty good sizable church. It's not that big, but good size. So I did the routine, and then now the time of sermon, the pastor was supposed to be up there. And so
You just stayed up.
Listen, the pastor delegated me to lead the church today, and he's not here, and I'm going to continue the program. I'm going to share the sermon. Yeah, I was a little nervous.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You've been through worse though, so this is kind of a walk in the park for you.
That was a different way of being nervous.
Yeah,
I was afraid of I didn't have the language at that time. I have the English, but not really strong enough to communicate clearly, right? Like the way I do now. So, but somehow I gathered myself inside, and I said, I'm going to do it. So I shared the sermon and everything. We went through the program, everything closed down. By the time we finished, everybody was like, oh man, we didn't know that you can do this. You're going to do this for us.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. So the next Sunday, the pastor came.
Yeah.
And I think he heard from the other people to say the guy Vinansio did a good job. So on Sunday, he came and then in the pulpit and they say, I heard that Vinansio did a good job. They say, yeah. I say, okay, I'm going to give you another chance. Now when he's there. So also he gave me another chance. I shared in front of them, and then like, man, I'm going to send you to Bible school.
What?
Yeah, that's what he said.
But you were still in the refugee camp.
Yeah, we said, but he has money. He can actually send me.
Yeah.
I said, no man, I don't want that. Yeah, I refused actually. I literally told him I don't want to be a pastor, But he really kind of like pushed me and said no. Yeah. Now, back to the leaving the city now.
Yep.
At the time when I have spoke to the camp manager, I went to the pastor and told him that I want to leave too.
Can you just swing that mic just in front of you? Just to this way?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
He said, I told him I want to leave. And he said like, where are you going, Vinansio? I said, I want to go to South Sudan. And then he's like, why are you going to do that? And then I showed him, he got the map of Africa. And this is where we are. And this is the place where you want to go. How are you going to get there? And I told him, okay, I'm going to go to Ethiopia and then to Kenya and then to Uganda. And then I will come here to South Sudan. And there, I'll find a job. I'll work. I'll be busy. And I will do, even though they don't pay me no money, they give people there were paid food for work, right? It's like, no, I don't believe that you can do that. I say, oh, well, I can't, I don't have choice, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
I made up my mind.
Yep.
So he said, okay, I can help you in Ethiopia, but I cannot help you after that. So he wrote a fax as well and sent it to Addis Ababa, to one of the church there. Say, I got a guy who's coming. If he arrives, help him.
Wow.
And he gave me the copy of that fax. So when I crossed
After that 2-day bus ride.
Yeah, and then 2 days bus ride. When I got to the last bus station, I took a taxi to the church. I arrived at the gate of the church, and the gatekeeper didn't want me to enter. And he didn't speak English. He doesn't know English. He speaks Amharic, their language there in Ethiopia. So I kind of I don't know now what to do, and it was 5 p.m. in the evening. Now what is going to be my next, if I'm not allowed to get in there and see this man, at least so that he can give me somewhere to sleep, so that tomorrow I can actually be able to calculate my next step, right?
Yeah.
Luckily enough, the pastor was outside. He was not in the compound. Because the church has a big fence and a big door, and they have this gatekeeper,
like security,
like a security guard guy. So he came, and then the security guard was trying to open for him the door, and I was standing there. And the security gate guy told him he was a Norwegian nationalist, a pastor in Ethiopia. So he was a Norwegian man. So he said, "Who's this?" And then the gatekeeper said, "He want to see you." So he was in his car, and he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Vinansio." "Oh, where are you coming from? Eritrea?" He said, "Oh, come in."
Wow.
Another horseshoe.
Yeah.
So when I came in, like I got the fax. I say, "Yeah, so welcome, and how long you have traveled?" And as I told him, with the bus 2 days.
Yeah.
So I exhausted, you have to sleep in this local motels. That's really bad, but you have no choice. The first day, the second night, the first night, the second night, and then now to the city the third day. So he said, okay. He designated his driver, take him to the hotel. We went to the hotel with the driver. The driver paid 3 days hotel for me, and gave me some money to eat. He said, when you're ready, come to me. So I stayed in the hotel for 2 days. The third day, I went to him and said, tomorrow I'm out of here. I was like, how do you want to go, Vinansio? Tell me, because Derek sent me this text that you want to go to South Sudan and you're going to go through Kenya. I cannot help you to go to Kenya. I don't have the authority to cross you the border to Kenya. I must be very clear. But how are you going to go? He brought a map again.
Yeah.
He said, we are here. and these are 3 crossing. How are you going to cross? I don't know. I don't know how to cross, but I want to cross. He said, okay. I can give you one option. Maybe you try that one. But it's not the safest, but still you can try. I said, okay. So he said, you take a bus, 2 days bus, to another border. Now that is borders a certain part of South Sudan. There is another big refugee camp, and it was the first guerrilla base.
Oh.
But the guerrilla kind of evacuated it, and now the refugees, the UN now, kind of shelter the people who ran away from the war.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So they say, you go there, and when you arrive there, you'll find people who's going to be walking to a certain part of South Sudan, and when you arrive there, you may find out your way to Kenya. Because now there's an airstrip in that part of South Sudan where the airplane coming from Kenya bringing some supplies to to that local area. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So he gave me some money to board the bus. I bought the bus the 4th day from being Addis Ababa, and then I traveled for 2 days. Arrived there.
3 days.
2 days.
Another 2 days.
Yeah. So I stayed there for 2 days, and then I begin to look for ways. Now, at that refugee camp to that other section of South Sudan bordering Ethiopia now, you have to walk for 2 full days to get there, to where there's an airstrip now. You can, if you are lucky enough, then you can get a air ride.
Yeah, to Kenya.
To Kenya. So the people who will come to the refugee camp and buy food, they walk for 2 days.
Yeah.
Buy food and walk back to that village.
Wow.
For another 2 days.
Jeez.
So I say, okay, I will join them.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined them. I walked only for 1 day and a half, and my feet swell.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was not wearing the right kind of
walking shoes.
Yeah, walking shoes. So I got stranded somewhere for one night. So when I slept there, one guy who was walking with me, he said, "I'm not gonna leave you. We're gonna stay here with you." So he stayed with me. I recovered a little bit. Then we walk another distance. Then now we found a place where there's a little bigger village. Then I stayed there for 4 days.
Fix your feet.
To fix my feet.
Oh my gosh.
And then after 4 days, then also I took over with another group of people to this area. I wish I have a map here, but of South Sudan. It's called Buma. It's a mountainous area, but very beautiful, man. Very beautiful place. It has a lot of agricultural potential, like maybe even plantations, because it's like the climate there is like very cold and rainy all the time. But there are mountains, and some certain people of the indigenous people, they live in that mountain.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, but because like the rebel discovered that area, right? They had their headquarters before there. So the airstrip, I mean the NGOs, with the international NGOs, they have built a church for those indigenous people. They have built a health center for them, and they have built. Actually, those are the two things: church, health center, and there was no school. There was no school.
This is at the guerrilla base, right?
Yeah. There was no school there.
Was it a big base?
It was a big base, but it was kind of like at that time. That was 1997, right? 1997, yes. The guerrilla has moved to another location more, but they still
had their base set up.
Has their base set there.
So, sorry, was it made by them, or was it kind of like something that they invaded and kind of took over?
No, because it's just a remote village. They didn't really invade anything there. There was no much of government forces.
Well, you said there was indigenous people there too, right?
Yeah. They kind of like found that place where after they leave this big refugee camp that I just told you. Yeah. They kind of like, because this refugee camp was still at the Ethiopian soil. But now when they moved to that base, it's not South Sudan. Gotcha. South Sudan. It's Sudan at that time. Yeah. So I stayed there for 2 nights. One plane came, but then I realized they don't take anybody. Now, from that place, there was no way I could walk. Wow. There was no way I could walk to Kenya at all. It was not possible.
Yeah, they just.
I either walk back again.
Yeah, the 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I stay there, and that was the end.
There's no.
That was the end of your story.
There's no Uber.
There's no Uber. But guess what? You kind of like really know. I got a ride there by a pickup truck.
Your name is Lucky from now on. Jeez Louise.
So I stayed there for 2 days. The 3rd day, I got to know the doctor there. Who is running the health center. I got to know, mostly I know the doctor and some of these people who already lived there for a while. So when I was denied to fly to Kenya, so I talked to this doctor. I told him my story. I really want to go to South Sudan, to that section of South Sudan. I got part of my family there that I know, and if I go there, I will live better than if I'm living here. This is South Sudan. It's great, but this is not where I want to live. I want to go there and stuff like that. And they say, okay, I'll see what I can do. So when he asked the airplane people, the small aircraft, they just bring food and some other supplies. They say no, we can't take any passengers. We can't take civilian because we are an NGO and we are governed by laws, and if anything happen, we are liable, right?
Right.
So unless someone in our office in Kenya authorize us to pick this guy up, then we can take him. But who do I know in Kenya at that time?
Yeah.
You're just trying to figure out how to get there.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So the fourth day, this doctor guy called me to say, hey, come Vinansio. So I went, and then so you see the priest. There was a Catholic church. The priest was a Frenchman. A priest. You know how lucky I am. Like British guy.
Yeah.
Norwegian guy. French guy.
Yeah. Do you speak a little bit of French?
Oh, no. I only had 2 languages, Arabic and English. Now, so.
Yeah.
But then he said the priest want to go to Kenya. He's using his truck. You know Hummer? This vehicle now called Hummer here.
Hummers, yeah.
Yeah, Hummer. We used to have in Sudan.
Wow.
The same design, but a little bigger.
Bigger
than a Hummer.
Yeah, it's called Unimog.
Whoa.
It's a German-based wildlife conservation vehicle.
I think I know what you're talking
I found my
about.
next car.
Yeah, and I believe they actually did. It's a Hummer is just a version of it. A new version of it.
Wow.
So this is like
that one can go on the mountain and go on the forest and stuff like this. The wildlife people use it.
Yeah.
So this guy has that vehicle.
French guy.
He can zoom out, hit it, and cross small rivers with it.
Wow.
So he said this guy is going to Kenya, and he said he can give you a ride. Like that's another cool thing, right?
Wow.
So he said he want you to be in his compound, church compound, by 7 a.m. in the morning. I said okay. So the 5th day, got ready, 7 a.m. on the church compound. The priest was getting himself ready. He has his morning prayer, and he has a bodyguard. Somebody with gun, bodyguard. You know? He travel with him. But when he arrived to the border, they will disarm him. And when he come back from Kenya, he's coming with him.
Pick him
up and he pick his gun. Yeah, because it's a rebel control zone, right?
Yeah.
So that way they don't get their hands. If something were to happen, they don't get their hands on more guns, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
wow.
So he say, okay, you wanna go to Kenya? I say, yeah. He got into the truck. We started around maybe 8 in the morning. We traveled until 1 p.m. We encountered a river that was overflowing.
Oh, jeez.
The truck cannot cross it. So the guy was like, we can't go. We're going back, man.
No way.
I'm like, no, we're not going back. He said, how are you going to cross? I'm like, we're going to cross. So I started thinking, what am I going to do now? So I told him, I got an idea. I said, what? I said, I'm going to get into this water. It's not like a big kind of river. It's just a small stream, right?
But it's just deep.
But it's deep and it's overflowing because the rain somewhere and it's flooding.
Yeah.
Even where we want to cross, there was no rain, but it just has rain on the other side, and then water is coming. So I took off my pants and my clothes, and I went to the bush. I get this tall wood, like not the big one, but like a tiny one, a taller one, like a bamboo type, right? And I say, and then I take a piece of charcoal, and I just pick it up, and then I entered into the water, and then I went into the middle of this water, and I pushed this thing down.
Yeah.
Way down, because I know how to swim.
Yep.
Yeah, I was in there pushing until, because so that the water cannot push it down, right? And then I came up, and then I marked the water where the wood like this. I mark it with this
charcoal,
just a sign. I said, now we're gonna watch that sign If the water is going down, that's sign. That means it's a good news for us. We can wait for 2-3 hours, and then we can try to cross.
Oh man!
If the water is going up, this sign that the mark that I put, then that means we can turn back.
Yeah, you can track the water level.
Yeah, just to track the water level. So it's like, okay. So we can talk stories. After an hour, I said, let me go and see. So I went in there and like, wow, it's gone that much, like a lot of inch down. And I showed him, I said, look, it just went this down. So the water is actually dropping, right? He said, okay. So I came out again. I said, let's give it another 1 hour. So he stayed 1 hour. I said, let me go and check. So I checked. It also has dropped. So let's try. He was still contemplating, right? And I said, let's try. He got into the truck. We all get into the truck. Boom.
Go through it?
He went through it.
Wow.
That is, let me say, from 1 o'clock to 4. That's when we crossed the river. And then we dropped. Around 7 p.m., boom, we crossed to Kenya.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, at the border of Kenya, they don't ask document from this guy.
Because he's a priest.
He's a priest. He's been moving here a lot.
Yeah.
And the border security at Kenya asked, who are these people? They said, these are my folks. They're just coming with me and they'll be coming back with me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He lied! The priest lied.
Yeah. So at the time we just crossed, and the first town at the border is called Lokichokyo. If you Google it, you'll see it. Is where most of these NGOs that work in South Sudan base their
Like their base camp?
that no really it's like more logistic
Oh, okay.
place where they will airlift all of their logistic to the remote areas from there. So he stopped and I say, Vinansio, I say, from here I don't know you. Find your way.
Oh,
That's the priest.
nice guy.
Yeah, say bye man and good luck.
Wow. That was nice of him.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Did he have work to do in there, or was he just doing it to help
Like
you?
I think he was going he was going to get some work done.
Yeah.
From their whatever headquarters in Nairobi. Nairobi is the capital of Kenya, right? So I said, cool, that's good now, man. Thank you.
Holy.
So now I don't know where to sleep next. So I just walk, and then I found, he showed me that place, that's in the morning you can find most of South Sudanese people here who works with these NGOs here, and that's one of the offices here. So I walk to that place and I find some people sleeping there. They put their thing. I will sleep here.
Yeah.
I got a backpack, put my backpack and just slept in the morning. In the morning I wake up and one guy came to open the office, and I went and say, hey, I came from Burma, the place where and I want to go to Nairobi. How can I go from here? He looked at me like, why are you going to Nairobi? I'm like, I want to go to Nairobi. I want to be there for maybe 2-3 weeks. And then I want to go to Uganda and South Sudan. And they say, okay. You got money? I say, I got Ethiopian money. Remember, I'm coming from Ethiopia, right?
Yeah.
I don't have Kenyan money. So they say, okay, let's go and look for exchange first. And then now you have to buy a permit because you don't have a passport.
Right.
You don't have anything to tell them that you are
Who you are.
nationalist.
Yep.
So I say, let's go and exchange the money. So we went to the market. It's a little market to look for exchange. When we found out that the exchange rate was really low, if I have 200 birr, that's Ethiopian money, very strong money. He say if you exchange your money here, it's gonna come very little money. But if you go to this refugee camp, it's ahead of you. Big refugee camp. It has 7 nationals over there. 7 countries represented. in Kenya. It's just 45 or maybe 1 hour away from this border. And I heard this refugee camp, and this pastor in Eritrea told me that don't go there. If you go there, life has been worse than here.
That was the pastor that you originally talked to back in that first.
Yeah, where I used to. He kind of like, I helped him, and then he gave me an opportunity to
speak.
share. To speak. So he showed me the stories. They get monthly magazine about the life of the refugees over there. So he showed me how things are. With other people there. So in my mind, I have no way of want to be in the refugee camp. But this guy who I met here said, you want better exchange rate for your money? You go to the refugee camp because there's a big market there, and you can get a better exchange rate.
Better rate, yeah.
Interesting.
And then how can I get there? He said, only let's go. We exchange few amount to buy a road permit from the immigration Kenya at the border. They gave me 3 months to be in Kenya. After that expired, if I am caught, deportation.
And where would you go?
They will deport me to Sudan.
Oh, jeez.
So it's not,
all that work.
Yeah, it's
and then like you get deported.
Like 3 months is good, man. I'm gonna finish my.
Yeah.
By the end of 3 months, I'm gonna go to. I'll be in South Sudan, right?
Yeah.
So we exchanged the money. I spent one more day there. The following day, I bought this small buses, took me to the refugee camp. I went to the community there, and then I found somebody that I don't know, but at least is from my background. Somebody that is from my background.
Right, your community.
Yeah, from my community. So he like, where you going? And I told him, I want to exchange my money, and I want to go to Nairobi. And then from Nairobi, I've been disconnected from my family for almost a year now. They actually don't know where I am. So I want to go to Nairobi and at least can write a letter and say I'm alive, I'm here, right? Otherwise they're gonna hold a funeral, but yeah. So he said, okay, why do you want to go to South Sudan, in that part of South Sudan? I like, man, I can't live in refugees camp. It's just too bad. I already live in one in Eritrea. I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
And you guys are living here. I didn't want to tell him that I have already learned from the other pastor that the condition here is worse.
It's worse, yeah.
But I just don't want to live in the refugee camp. I just want to go there, get myself busy until if there's peace, there's peace. If there's no peace, for the country, I can still be busy. And
yeah, it's where you're from. It's where your family is.
Yeah. So he said, okay. So he was thinking, say, let's go to the market. We go, we exchange my money, and then I say, okay, let's go to buy a bus ticket. It takes 1.5 days to get to Nairobi from there by bus. So you have to buy a ticket and travel overnight until morning to a certain town, and then you board another bus to Nairobi. So he said it's evening now.
Yep.
And you cannot go. You sleep over, and then in the morning you will go. I'm like, no man, I don't want to sleep here. I say, no man, it's take it easy. So at least because I feel a little comfortable because he's someone that I can communicate with him in my own dialect.
Yeah.
It's somebody from my background. We speak almost the same language.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of accent there. So he told me, okay, you stay. You sleep. I said, okay. So in the evening, then he gave me a plan. He said, look, right here in this camp, there's something called a head count. Head count means the UN is gonna come and take a count, a statistic again to see how many people are still in this camp. Are the people who has left, or are the people new people has come?
Right.
So they call it head count. So attend that head count and get yourself registered, and then you go. if things didn't work for you there in South Sudan, you come back, you still have your status here as a refugee.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, no man, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really told him I don't want to. So he said, okay, excuse me. So he said, okay, just do that. So he pushed me up, and in the morning, I gave it a thought. I said, I'm gonna stay. How long is it gonna take? I said, just this week, and you're gonna stay with me here. So okay. So I stayed. The head count process came. I registered. I didn't even have to tell my story where I come from. They just say, you are new people, yeah. Just they registered you. They give you a card. You have the status now. You're a refugee. Yeah. So now I abandoned my refugee status in Eritrea. Now I'm a refugee in Kenya. So after I stayed there for 7 days, then I left. I came to Nairobi. In Nairobi, I did not have like a real family there. Only people from community and church. I survived there. I wrote letters to my family there. I asked them if they can send me some my document now to mail it to me.
Yeah.
And so that I can at least have something if I go down there to South Sudan, and I wanted to secure some employment with these international NGOs. I have something to present to them.
Right.
To say I have some certain education, right?
So you left South Sudan because you were worried. That you were originally worried that they were gonna like recruit you.
No, actually they're gonna. When you go for training, you're already recruited.
Oh, so you left so you
It's
wouldn't
now
have been.
a
I see.
deployment.
So that's rag force. That's not.
So, but then
It's a
your
deployment mean they're gonna send you to the front line.
but your family stayed though.
My family stayed.
Yeah, okay.
In those days, they recruit, mostly young men
Young men. Yeah.
because you still have energy. You can go and fight.
Yeah, you go run around.
But the problem is that you go and fight who? You go and fight your own body.
Yeah.
You go and shoot your own, community man.
Yeah.
So why? And you either kill somebody there or you kill. So why do I gotta go and kill my own or get killed by my own person? No.
Yeah.
You said that you were going to be. You knew that you were going to be sent somewhere else. Do you know where they were going to send you?
No, it depends on where the war is intense.
Did you get an idea of where they
Well,
made a rumor?
the biggest zone they sent people to the southern part because the war was more in the south, southern part of the country, right?
Yeah.
So anywhere where they see there's a lot of intense war there, they'll they deploy you with some military, and then you go there.
Yep.
If you come back, you're lucky. If you don't come back,
Are you given the timeline for like your deployments?
no. If they don't tell you,
They just show
Oh.
up. It's like,
they
They're
just
just
show
like,
up
"Here you go,
because they
man."
know where you live, right?
yeah.
They show up and then you're gone.
So, did you get a hold of your family and get some more documents?
So I wrote a letter to them, and that's how I ended up to come to Canada. So I wrote a letter to send to my family back in Sudan to say I'm in Kenya now. Can you please send me some of my school document? Now they replied they have processed these papers and they send it to someone in Egypt that I know, because it was not safe to send letters direct from
I was
from
just about to
Sudan.
ask you that if that was
Sudan.
safe. Yeah.
to Kenya.
Kenya.
Because Kenya was a host for the rebels.
Right.
The rebel leader live in Kenya. So anybody who was really coming to Kenya was not in a favor of government.
Right.
And so letters were actually inspected. They're open letters.
Oh, no way.
So they say they're gonna send to Egypt, and then the guy in Egypt will send it to me in Kenya. That is when things went again bad. They send the document to Egypt. The guy was looking for someone to bring them. It delayed. They gave it to some guy to bring him to Kenya, and the guy went to Uganda instead.
Oh, no.
And he doesn't know me where I am actually. And I was waiting here. My little money ran out, so I can't go to Uganda because I don't have money.
Right.
So I survived there.
How?
Survived there, mostly friends from the church helping me. You know,
Thank
they
God.
actually give me a room like this, like this space here, and I live there. Now, one day I heard there is an organization that help sponsor refugee student to go to school. If you came from Sudan or any of these countries, remember I said this came in Kenya. This refugee came in Kenya.
Yeah.
Has 7 countries.
Yeah.
Well, Sudan was there. Uganda was there because Uganda used to have war. Ethiopia was there because Ethiopia was fighting with Eritrea. Eritrea was there. Rwanda was there. Burundi was there. And number 7 was Congo. 7 countries represented there.
Yeah.
And Somalia, 8. Somalia. So 8 countries.
Wow.
The biggest population of refugee was South Sudanese and Somali. Because they were the people who still have war going on.
Right. Civil war.
Civil war going on. So I was waiting for these papers. Nothing showed up. I don't even have no money for postage to send a letter to say what's going on.
Yeah.
So I heard that this organization is helping refugees and students to go to school. If you or at least somebody who has finished your high school and you have good grades, you have a certificate, I'd say I'm gonna try. So I went, put my application, and then first of all, the application is supposed to be accompanied with a school document.
Right. And you're waiting for those documents.
Yeah. And so I just put the application without nothing in there, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a try, right? So a month later, I got a reply to say, we regret that you are not able to be accepted because we only have a limited vacancies and we cannot, and you are not qualified. Something told me, you know what, go back to that office. So I took the letter and I went there. When I entered to a reception area like this, with the lady who was a receptionist, they had a photocopier like this. Also, there was a lady doing a photocopy, and this receptionist lady was sitting here. So I came and introduced myself. I'm Vinansio. I want to see so and so, the person who signed the letter, a regret letter. And this representative said she's the one doing the photocopy. You can talk to her if you want to talk if she wanted to talk to you.
Wow.
So I walked to her and say, can I talk to you? She said, what did the receptionist say? She said, she heard it, but she just want to, she said that if you want me to see you, it's up to you. I said, okay, wait. So she finished her photocopy, she went to her office, and then she telephoned the receptionist to say, allow this guy to come in. So I went to her office, say, how can I help you? And then I pull out the letter, I say, you signed this letter, right? She said, yeah, I did. I said, why you sign a letter like this? Because this is my last place. I told her that. This is my last place. If I had no chance here, I don't know where to go from here. Because I don't have anything to say. Sorry, we have a whole bunch of applications, so many applications, and we went through them, through our criteria. You are not qualified. And then they drafted out a letter. We are a committee.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm only signing it.
You're one person, she's one person out of 17 or whatever.
I'm not the one deciding the whole thing. And then I'm like, okay. Then she asked me, this is the interesting part, are you a Christian? I say, yeah. And then she said, she's trying to comfort me, to give me some hope, right?
Yep.
She said, she did not answer me. She did not ask me where I go to church, right? She just asked me if I'm a Christian. I say, yeah. Because there are Somalians who are Muslims and other nationalities who come to her office, right? She said, there was a guy who used to be, who has the similar problem like you, and was from Rwanda. But this guy is in Canada now. I say, how did you get there? I say, I'll tell you, but I don't know if you're going to be successful because you don't have even anything to show us that you really were a student. So she encouraged me, and this guy was so miserable and stuff like that. But God came into his case, and he was resettled in Canada. He's in Canada now. And then she said, "Where do you go to church?" I told her the name of the church. It's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "That's where I go." I'm like, "Okay." So now she lightened up, right?
Yep.
She said, "Go back and rewrite your application. And this is a new address. Rewrite this application with this new address. So, and bring it and leave it in the reception here. We will get it. And if there is anything, then we will let you know." I said, "Okay." So I went back, rewrote it overnight.
What's the difference between the address? Why
Well,
is that significant?
the previous sponsorship that they rejected me from was, you're supposed, if you accept it, they will give you money and they will sponsor you to study within the East African universities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they will ask you to apply to any of the universities in the East Africa region.
Africa. Okay.
And if they accepted you, they will pay your money. They'll cover everything.
I see.
Yeah. But this one, the new address is like, now you have to come to Canada to study in Canada.
Oh.
Now remember, I still don't have document, right?
You have nothing.
Nothing. So she said, "Go rewrite, bring it." So I rewrote it overnight, brought it in the morning, walk in, brought it in, leave it there. 1 month later, I got a reply.
A month.
Yeah. "We are happy to say that we have accepted your application. We will notify you about our next step."
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many backflips did you do?
Well, I don't know.
And you didn't have anything.
I didn't have anything.
Oh man.
I don't have money.
At that time, did you even think of Canada at all?
Nope.
They're just
My
like,
mind
this
is still want to go to South Sudan.
Yeah, where your family is.
Yeah, I still want to go to South Sudan. So she said, so I waited. Now, no document, no nothing. I'm just waiting there, just surviving. Friends supporting me, Today I got something for food. The next day I got, not fair, like life that it can, can survive, So, I think the third month after that letter came, then we got another letter notified that we go to the camp. Remember the camp that I left?
Where you were a refugee.
Yeah, the one in Kenya now.
Oh,
the one that I came to exchange my money.
Right.
You go back there, and they will do the process there. Still, I don't know what is the process. I don't know what's gonna happen. I have no any valid document to show them that I was a student and to this level in South Sudan.
Yeah.
So anyway, I found my way. I went back there. They sent another lady, and then they organized a test center.
Okay.
For English.
Right.
You gotta write English. You got to listen and write. So we did that test. They gave us another 1 month. Then they sent a letter to the UN office to say this list of people, because you have to wait for the result in the camp. So I stayed there for 1 month.
Oh man!
Another 1 month.
After doing this test.
Yeah,
already?
yeah.
Oh wow.
I said this list of people, this number of people, we want them to come to Nairobi for an interview.
Oh my gosh!
Now that interview was. Now the first thing you have to do is to show them your document. Remember, my file is still they don't have a document.
Yeah, it's like floating around. You don't even know.
The interviewer, now a Canadian.
He's a Canadian.
Sent from Ottawa.
Oh.
To go there and interview these people.
Yeah.
So they gave us, this time they pay for our bus fare. They gave us a letter so that on the checkpoint
you can get through.
They can get through.
Yep.
We came back. They give us a place to sleep. My friend house, which I used to live before I go back to the camp, I went there in the evening to check how they are, right? Then they say, hey, Vinansio, we got a phone call from Red Cross. And they say they have a mail for you there.
No! Oh, wait!
That was the day that I arrived.
Oh, wow!
I said, what? They said they have a mail there. They call us and ask for you. And we said, you are in a camp. And they say, if you come, you should go to them. I said, that's okay. So I slept overnight. The first thing before I go to the interview place, I went to the Red Cross office.
Ooh-wee.
When I got to the Red Cross, they handed me a big envelope like that, and guess what was in there?
All your stuff.
All my documents.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then I went to the interview place. I found the rest of the group members are all there. We go in there one by one.
It's the same day you got the documents.
Same day. a panel of interviewers. This lady who told me to reapply was one of the panel member. The lady from Ottawa was one of the panel member, and two other people, like 3 people or 4 people, to ask you different questions.
Yeah.
I said like this, and they're there, and they ask you basically how do you escape your country, what was really make you to it, and then now they come to some. It's like almost,
Yeah.
So, but the first thing is that they have your file.
Yep.
With all your application and all the process that you have done, this English that the result of this English that has been completed, and all this, they created a file for you with all the record, right?
Yep.
And one of the things they want to see is to see a document saying that you are a student in your country of origin.
Yep. And you got it.
So when I came in here, this lady asked me. She knows my story, but she asked me, Vinansio, your file is empty. Where are your documents? We cannot talk to you if you don't. Then I gave them the envelope. I said, I just got it from Red Cross. Here it is.
Oh!
She's like, she looked at it, stamp Red Cross with the, when you receive a letter, they give you a receipt.
Yep.
It's in there. Everything is there. And I said, I just got it from Red Cross. Here it is. So it's like, wow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
They didn't ask me a lot of questions anymore. They say, okay, you go, we'll let you know. So I left. They took the document, they make a photocopy, give me back the original. I left. 1 month later.
Man, they're making you wait a month.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, they give you money to go back to the camp. But I didn't go.
Where'd you go?
I went to my friends who I used to live with them.
Right.
Yeah.
You live with, right.
So I went to say, the condition in the camp, man, is so harsh.
Yes.
Was it?
Food. You see, I eat one kind of food, beans, stuff like that. The sleeping, where the area where I sleep, it's not safe. So many things. There are shifters in the camp. People come sometimes and shoot randomly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to stay there.
So it was so I just say, because they want us to wait for a camp, and they're gonna bring the result into the camp of this interview.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hang out with my buddies here, even though I don't have money, but that's okay. I still save my ticket money with me, for a week or two. Now another tragedy happened, because they only give you a certain, like they give you a road permit. With the limited amount of days in there.
Like the 3 months, right?
No.
Oh.
Like when you're coming from camp to Nairobi for the purpose like this, they only give you. They will tell you, this person is coming to Nairobi for this purpose, and he will be back. On this day. So really 3 days. Okay. 1 day going, 1 day coming, 1 day for the interview. So it's 3 days. But the good part is when you're going from Nairobi to the camp, the checkpoints people will allow you to go, because you're going to the camp anyway.
Yeah.
But when you're coming from the camp
Just
to the city,
they want to see that pass.
Yeah, they want to see the pass. So I said, like, I will go later, like just hang out. Then the second day I was in Nairobi. Do you remember 1998? The American embassy was bombed.
No.
In Nairobi.
No.
Simultaneous attack to American embassy, one in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, one in Nairobi, in 1 day. Yeah.
They were bombed, you said?
Yeah, they were
Oh
bombed.
my god.
A lot of people were killed that morning. Now, what impacted me with that incident was that now the first announcement that came on the TV was that it was a Sudanese terrorist who bombed the embassy.
Oh.
Now they're gonna be a tight security first for the nation,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be a more tight security for the Sudanese people.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I didn't even know now how to go back because there's gonna be a security on the way, right?
Man.
So I like, okay, this is another challenge here. So I have a friend, a Kenyan friend, who has a certain rank in the military, Kenyan military. But I became a friend with him in the church.
Oh, wow.
So he worked in a border. He was a commander in the border between Ethiopia and Kenya. But that week he came to Nairobi for some office work or something like that. So I met him on Tuesday. Every Tuesday we have a prayer meeting like this. Members of the church, we pray for each other and stuff like that. So like we met with him and everything. And then the bomb blasted the day before. And then Tuesday we met, and I told him, "Sir, I want to go back to the camp now, but I don't know how to go. Can you help?" He said, "Okay, tomorrow I'm going to the office. I'm going to ask my colleague at that site and see how the road is. If the roads are good, I'll let you board the bus and go, and I'll give you a note. When you go there, they will see my signature. They will let you go." I waited for 3 days. He didn't show up. I like, oh man, I don't know what to do, and I don't want to be caught here in the city, because they now started
questioning everybody.
They go to the areas where a lot of South Sudanese are living, and then they arrest them, take them, and then they'll you have a document, they don't have a document, they put in the jail.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I like the 4th day, I'm leaving, man. I'm going. I boarded a bus at night, travel overnight to a certain city. 7 a.m. you board another bus to travel to the camp. It take you another 7 hours to get to the camp. So I travel overnight, board the bus in the morning. Now from where you board in the morning to the camp, that is when you find the checkpoints.
Right.
With the police and stuff like that. And they want to checking the documents. And so that's my fear now.
Right.
Now luckily enough, and this is true story, and I'm telling you, I bought it and I passed through 7 checkpoints. They never asked me.
Didn't?
Didn't.
Just said, go ahead.
They just check everybody and let the bus go. Only small buses that can take 10 to 15 passengers, not even a big bus, that they will miss you. No, they won't miss you. But 7 checkpoints.
Were you just like sweating or what?
Just sitting there.
Just sitting.
I was sitting there and I just prayed. I said, whatever happened, it happened.
7 checkpoints.
7 checkpoints until I get to the camp.
Were you like, yeah?
I have a story to tell. Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
So I stayed there. The next month, the following months, we get the letter. Now, coming from this interview that has been conducted by a Canadian representative for that organization, saying you are successfully, we accepted you successfully, completed the interview, and now we want you to officially come to Nairobi and do TOEFL classes for 8 months, and then now we'll find you a university in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah. So they brought us to Nairobi. They rented out a house like this. They give us every month, maybe at that time equivalent to $20 every week. Yeah, to live with.
Wow.
Living allowances, transport allowances. We go to classes every day.
Wow.
They teach us English. We learn some basic computers. After 9 months, we do the test called TOEFL. TOEFL, do you know that word?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
It's a TOEFL classes. Mean this is an English that is a higher level where you can now be able to manage college.
Okay.
So they just take you through levels so that we can have your English is strong to the level that when you go to the college, you don't struggle.
Right.
So we did that for 9 months. We have a computer-based test. We pass the results. I passed the results. The certificate of the document that was sent to Canada. Then they found universities in Canada. They give you a form to apply which kind of program you want to study in Canada. They tell us they give you a list of the program that they can allow foreign students to study. Other than medical schools and law school and engineering school, these are the only one that is excluded because of the fact that you have to do your undergrad and then after that
and then your master's degree and specialized degree.
So I applied for 3. They give you 3 choices or 3 options, and then you put those 3 options, and then when they send it here, they find you one of the options in any university. So I did economics. I applied for economics. I applied for business admin, and I applied. I don't know what the third. I can't remember. So after this English has been finished, then they send the papers there. We only waited maybe for 2 months. We got all our admission letters from various universities with the schools, with the university that you're going in. So I ended up at Trent University in Peterborough.
Yeah.
Wow. So what did you end up taking down there?
I ended up taking development and economic.
Which seems like right up your alley, since what you've been through.
International development and economics. And that it was my passion, really. I wanted to study that, and I wanted to go back so that I can be able. I want to help. I want to. And this is why today I have this, because I really feel like I want to give back after all this journey and all this escape and stuff like that. And I'm still alive and I have a knowledge. I want to give back, I want to go back and give.
You could have done like travel advisory too.
I could do. I also like traveling, but it's too tough.
So is there other people involved in Missionary Ventures Canada? It's like
there are not people from South Sudan, but people from other, like Canadian.
It's a Canada company.
So it's a Canadian company. Missionary Ventures is a Canadian company, but I created my own organization. This is it.
So it's called Eagle Wings International Ministries.
So now I find Missionary Ventures is already an established charity that do missions mostly in Latin America, and they were trying to expand to Africa, in another country in Africa. So when I met the guy, I told him my story, and I was really looking for opportunity to want to give back. So at that time, I already started sponsoring children in one of the village there. I went back in 2000 after school. After I finished my undergrad at Trent, at the end of 2004, sorry, I went back to visit my family now. And I came, and then I assessed the situation. Still, the war ended in 2005. There was that peace that was signed. After the peace that was signed, South Sudan was given an option to after 5 years, they can vote for independent, for become autonomous country themselves, or they can vote for unity, right? 2011, voting was done. Actually, some of us here in Canada from South Sudan, we voted, and the country was separated in 2011. So now there are 2 countries. There are now Sudan, which used to be there, and South Sudan, where I come from.
Right. It just wasn't called that until 2011.
2011.
Okay.
So, and I went back 2009 to see now, and then I started paying children from my own pocket to go to school. I started paying 2 children to go to school in a certain village. And then I came here to ask people if they can support me, and I create this so that I can be able to have something formal, something legal,
Yeah.
So this is a registered charity too. He has a charitable number. We have receipts that if somebody make a donation to send a child to school or whatever, we give him a receipt.
So that's what Eagle Wings Internationals. That's that's sponsoring children. In South Sudan.
In South Sudan. So we partner with these people,
which is the Missionary
Ventures. If you want to give money, you give money to for the mission in South Sudan. You can give this to these people, and it can be receipted. And then I can go and execute the program. So now I have 2 projects there. I sponsored this. Started with 2 kids. I have up to now I have 6 kids
through Missionary Ventures.
6 kids, and then we have a water project to build a water.
Did you like
pump.
wells and things like that?
Yeah, to drill a well, because one of the school in the village, they did not have water, and they go to fetch water. During the day after like the what they call the recess here, right? When recess time, so the pupils will go to get water across, and 2 of them were run over by a car.
What?
Yeah, they're dead. So when I went the last time I went, then I heard the story, and I like, we need to put a water well
in
here
the area,
so that the children doesn't have to cross the road and get killed, So that is why I am doing these 2 projects, water and students, and these are some of the students that I paid for. Right now there are 6 of them, but almost all of them has no consistent payment. People give a one-time gift, and then I'll go and pay for the whole year is $250 for the whole year.
That's it?
Yeah, that can provide a child from grade 1 to grade 6. Provide a child with the clothing, books, because their children wear uniform. You pay school fees, books, and uniform.
So what's that a month?
Probably like 25 a month.
Yeah,
like a 25 a month, let me say. Because remember, it's an American money. It's not a Canadian.
Yeah.
So if you see, you just go.
It's like $20 a month. Yeah. So $25 Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody can give it at one time. Somebody can give it every month. Give you a credit card, and then they can take $20 from here to the Mission Adventure.
So do you see that you've seen the money in work? Like, because a lot of companies, people are kind of afraid of like partnering with, and then the money gets lost.
No, I've seen the money work because these are some of the reports.
Yeah.
So for example, this child here and this one, and some of the children here, that I went by myself and paid the money and bring back the receipts from
yeah. Wow, so you're just like hands-on.
Yeah. You see that
from the programs in progress. That's awesome.
How much does it cost for you to do a well? Have you looked into
that? There's one of that well right now. The local people raise they already raised $1,900.
And that's how much it costs?
No, I raised here 2,000 Canadian. But the whole well costs approximately 6 to 7,000 US.
60,000. Wow.
Yeah.
No, 6,000.
6 to 7. Yeah. 6 to 7,000. Wow.
Yeah.
How far are you ahead of that? Like,
1,900 plus 2,000 Canadian.
So it's like
we kind of like maybe we have to almost 4.
Yeah, you're still about 2,000 off.
And now is that through Missionary Ventures?
Ventures, yeah. The money go to Missionary Ventures.
Yeah.
You get receipt it from Missionary Ventures.
Yeah.
I go and execute the program.
Yep.
I bring back the report to Missionary Ventures. They update the donor with the report that I brought.
Right.
Yeah.
So how often are you going down there?
I'm also supporting my family.
Right.
Jeremy can testify to that. So I didn't go 2019.
Yeah.
But I paid the whole year for 2019. These 4 pupils, children. So for this year, I needed to go, but I don't know when because it depends on money.
Yep.
If I can't go because I have to raise my own ticket,
yeah,
then I can still if there's some people who can
Somebody
contribute,
else I can go.
somebody else can go, or somebody there can then at least go and pay for the school children
Yeah.
and send me back the receipts.
Do they
Yeah.
have? There's somebody down there that's
Yeah,
taking care of
there's
the
a
program
church.
on that
There's a
end too?
church there that I am affiliated to. That when I go, actually I identify the children through them,
Oh, I see.
and some
I
of
see.
them, these are children that has one parent, or some of them don't have parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they stay home, and I wanted to invest mostly on the girls because most like the girls is more children there who don't go to school a lot, and so I have like how many girls? Three girls and four girls and two boys.
Wow.
Yeah, so I started small, and I wanted to see how it grows, and the reason why I wanted to be affiliated with the Mission Innovation because they are at least a grown charitable organization. They have been doing it for a while. CRA know them more than my organization, and so they have a clean report. I mean, CRA report. They have projects right now working in Latin America, and so they now wanted me to find a way how to fund this water project and one project in Kenya, water project too in Kenya.
So other than obviously like cash donations and things like that, and for credit card and that, when you go down there, is there other things that people can give you that would be helpful, like when you go down there?
When like the next time I want to go, I want to see if I can. Last time I took clothing on my own. That's another thing. I took clothing to people because remember I said South Sudan get their independent as a country in 2011. Unfortunately, in 2013 they started fighting themselves.
Oh, jeez.
And now even it's worse than the war that we were fighting with the North. And there's so much people who has nothing. So the last time I took 2 barrels of clothing. I collected clothing from my friends, mostly women and children, and I put in these blue barrels. I have them in the pictures, and I put them in the blue barrels, and I ship them with my own money. So when I go there, I took it to the camp, one of the displaced camp, and called all the women, the single women and the children, put it out. They selected all the clothes, and then I made them line up. Each person select two clothes. I got all the pictures and stuff like that. So
wow.
So that's
you go through this crazy story of escaping and making yourself kind of like figuring out your own life story just so you could get educated, go back and start giving back. And
that's pretty much that I found myself.
Yeah,
I never
pretty
really
amazing. Eh?
I never really calculated that, but I found myself doing that, and I feel more. I want to do it more.
Work so hard to get out of there, and just to go to find a way to go back and help.
Like I felt more privileged, right?
Yeah.
Just only escaping all those dangerous situations, and the fact that I'm still alive and in being in Canada, I have my own family, as you can see.
Yep.
Supporting them.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I'm pretty much privileged, and I can be able to give back.
Yep.
Whatever I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why sometimes I use my own money just to buy my own ticket and go there and do what I need to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And your family is still down there as well?
Yeah, the rest of my family. I got
not where this is, obviously.
No, I got two siblings, 4 siblings, 2 sisters and 2 brothers. My immediate brothers and sisters.
And their families.
And their families.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the 5th member of the family, but my parents have passed away.
Yeah.
My mom died during the war early. I was young. My dad died when I was already here in Canada. So they're no more, but my siblings are there with their families. They live in Juba, the big city. One of them live in another city, but the 3 of them live in Juba. And so when I go to these areas where I pick up those children. I go to the village too, where I want to do the water well to visit, and And I wanted other thing that I needed to take. I wanted to take is to take soccer balls.
Yeah.
For the children in school, right?
Mhm.
I want soccer ball. If anybody can donate those. I want, the last time I took some stationaries, a barrel of some stationaries, books, pencils, backpacks,
Yeah, school stuff.
Yeah.
You let us know when you're going.
Eh?
You let us know when you're going.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll try and-
I'm with him, so I will
Yeah,
let
yeah.
him know.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to find a way how to promote this so that I can have a team, because I can't do it on my own, right?
Mhm.
So
Well, we can definitely
We
help
got
out.
we got a pretty good reach. If I can,
We can
find
help
some
out.
crazy person on Facebook, I can.
Oh, yeah.
Find some soccer balls. I'm sure.
yeah.
So if people want to get a hold of you, the information is on these pamphlets. Are you okay with them putting out your information, like your email?
Oh yeah, people can put out my this some information here. There's a phone number here, and there's also my phone number.
Yeah, like your cell phone
Yeah,
number.
my cell phone number.
Now, people go to that website, www.missionaryventures.ca. Is there
Yeah.
information
Yeah.
getting a hold of you on there as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, you can call there, and you can speak to either the director of the missionary ventures, or one of the ladies who's working as who's create all this.
All the pamphlets and stuff.
Yeah, administrator.
Is there information on this one, on the Eagle's Wings?
Yeah, there's some information there.
Yep.
So that's how I kind of reach
Yeah.
to Canada.
Yeah.
And in Canada, there's also a lot of transition there.
Yeah.
Big transition, man.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm definitely gonna keep this.
from like no snow to snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Climate, weather-wise, is so tough. So now I have to start finding new friends.
Yep.
Culture is totally different.
Yep.
As long as you got a coffee in your hand, you're okay. People will talk to you.
I didn't know coffee until
That's huge.
Yeah.
I didn't know that coffee was one of the Canadian culture until when I become a student.
Hockey and coffee.
Yeah.
I used to go to Tim Horton close to the university
Yeah.
when the library closed late, and we have late assignment to submit that you have to stay up at night. We go and stay awake in the Tim Horton to finish up,
Yep.
and then I started dumping coffee. That's why I become a coffee person now.
Yeah,
There you go. There you
I'm
go.
Canadianized, I'm
There you
Canadian
go.
now.
Yeah,
like,
there you go.
yeah,
There you go. Now all you got to do is just complain about the lids, and you're all set.
and I still complain about the weather.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
well,
you
we
go.
all
See, that's
talk about
perfect.
it.
That's a good
You're in.
conversation starter right there.
Yeah.
How about these stupid lids? And it's cold, eh?
Yeah, no.
Cold, eh?
So
Cool, eh?
you have two brothers that are still there.
Yeah.
Were they able to avoid the the draft and all that there?
All of us at the time we ran to the north,
Oh, okay.
like from the in those I mentioned in late 80s, like 89.
So they went with you
89.
when you ran.
Everybody finding their way, and we all end up over there.
Wow.
But yeah, so they are there. They survived there until when the peace was signed in 2005.
So they didn't. They got.
And then
they
when the
avoided it,
country separated, then I moved back to South
Gotcha.
Sudan. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they are there. They're surviving. There's still war in South Sudan, but they have signed this peace that they signed it in 2015. They started fighting in 2013, and some negotiation here and there, and then now they sign it, and they had a hard time implementing it. But this coming February, that's a start. That's like a start of implementing peace. They want to create. It's now. This one is now. It's not about. It's about power, but it's not the way it was in between the north and the south.
Yeah.
And now this the one in the north, between the north and the south, was backed up by religion, right? Religion was blend in there. They want people to become Muslims, right?
Yeah.
But this one in the south now is no more. There's no more religion, because people are the same, like almost the same. The bigger population was Christian, right?
Yeah.
But now this is a power struggle between the two
Still.
ethnic group,
Wow.
and so it created a big mess.
No doubt.
So they still try to put this mess together, through the support of African Union, some America and other European countries to support to bring more lasting peace, because they know the history of South Sudan. They know how much South Sudan has went through.
Yeah.
And they want to make sure there's peace and stability.
Yep.
The country is so rich. It has oil, it has other natural resources, but now, China is in there and stuff like that.
Really?
Oh, big mess. But so at least it give me a way of thinking of want to go back, because the security is a little bit improving now. You know what I mean?
Yep. And
as compared
want
to
go back and try to make a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. But particularly this water thing, I really needed to see it done. I needed to see that these children go back again to school.
Yep.
Well,
it just shows how important education is.
Yeah.
That little paper saved you in that meeting.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
in that panel of interviewers, people who are more intellectuals at the time, one of them was Canadian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they wanted to see this thing that education is important.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And only those papers gave me the leeway to come here to Canada.
Yep. And if you can give that to a kid.
Yeah. If I can give that to a kid that will become a doctor one day, or become a nurse, or whatever, a teacher.
Yep. Or an engineer.
Whatever the child will become.
Yeah.
It will contribute back to the community.
That's awesome.
And one thing I also really feel that we exist in this world for a reason. We just don't exist because we want things for ourselves.
Yeah.
We exist for a reason, that we can. There are always people who we help each other.
Yep. Yeah, we're not just existing for our own.
Yeah, for myself.
Yeah.
If you do for everybody exists for by themselves.
Yep.
Look at the church in Eritrea. Gave me a letter.
Yep.
To someone to another pastor in Ethiopia.
Yep.
And somebody that I know in the remote village connected me to this French priest and brought me to Kenya. All this I have I have no relation to them.
Yep.
So when I go back, I go to the community to look for those kids that really have no opportunity.
Yep.
They have no anything. There's no light. Need small light to show them they're gonna have a future.
Yeah.
And I want to bring them and say, come here. You can become somebody later.
Yep.
And I want to give them school fee so that they can go to school, get some education. Right now, I'm just starting from basic school.
Yep.
Because the more you go to a higher level, the more the money.
Well, again, not much for us in comparison.
Not much for us.
Yeah.
Not much for us for a Canadian, but it's better that you start down here.
Yeah.
And then if I can gain some people who will be interested later, then they can themselves. And even in the future, maybe when there's really stability, whoever wants just to come and see the country, will be more welcome, because I'm familiar with there.
Yeah.
I have
and for
space there.
Only you gotta think, if someone goes out for supper once a month, you're paying at least $45 to $50.
Well,
right?
Imagine that's just a month. That's you and your family, just two of you. You go. Let me say you go to Mandarin. How much you pay?
At least $60, right?
Yeah.
I don't pay Mandarin.
Just an example. But how about the coffee that we're talking about?
Yeah. So exactly like that.
Every morning I grab. If I come, for example, if I walk in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a cup of coffee, right?
Yep.
I grab a cup of coffee and a bagel and stuff like that.
It's like $4.
Yeah. If you add that in a month, how much is that?
4 times. Well, even in a week, 4 times 7.
Yeah.
I don't pay for coffee.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's in comparison to us who have sit in a privilege, we can make that much of a difference. To show how you came here. You know what I mean? It's such a story. So well, so people can get a hold of you through missionaryventures.ca. And we'll post about this.
Yeah, we'll
and
put that
from now on, we'll talk in the beginning of our podcast, we do ads. If you're okay with that, I'd like to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
Every podcast.
And you can add my number in there.
Yep.
too.
So
And people
missionary Eventual and Eagle Wings as well, right? They're
Yeah.
so they're affiliated.
Yeah,
it's the
together.
same?
So
Yeah,
if you
okay.
want, like to say, if you want to talk to Vinansio directly, here is the number.
Yep.
Okay.
If you want to talk to find out the work that Vinansio wanted to do in South Sudan
Yep.
through mission, this is the number to missionary bench. I can talk to.
And the website.
Yeah, and the website.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Okay, man.
that's how things turned to this level, and I'm still grateful today. You know,
So
cool friends.
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
man.
so I was gonna say. So I think we need to contact either Netflix or somewhere to get this story online somewhere.
Oh yeah, if
Well,
you
now it
Right.
is. Now it's a podcast.
Yeah.
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 So when they contact us, we'll work out a
A movie
contract, a
contract.
movie contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll play the Hummer driver guy for you. There you go.
Yeah, the Hammer driver. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He seemed like the safest guy. So
Yeah, he's the same.
yeah,
guy.
he just waited for water to go away. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he was like, we're not going, man. You're not
We're not
going.
going?
We're not going. We're going
Was he
back.
driving? So the security guy was driving.
He was the one driving.
Did he have a beard?
Yes, not
See,
too.
you
Yeah.
think of a Hummer driver?
Was he
guy?
French?
Yeah, he's French.
Oh, so the security guide was French.
No, the security guy was Sudanese.
Okay.
The
Sudanese,
police was
yeah.
French.
Yeah, French guy.
I'm just a passenger.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You're
I can be the Hummer driver.
Yeah, you can be a Hammer driver.
Yeah,
You can
see?
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Say yeah.
Yeah,
I can
Hummer
wait.
driver.
I can wait for the water level to go
yeah,
down. I'm cool with
exactly.
that.
That's a cool story, and like I remember those stories. Like, man, how did I even think about it like that? I didn't even.
Well,
I can't even tell how I thought
People
that way.
like people even like I don't even have a crazy story like that. You know what I mean? Like even half that story, people can't even relate to such a story.
Yeah.
You know, we're like in our first world country, we can't even
Yeah.
like. Oh, the worst part of my day was I don't even know. You know?
Yeah, there wasn't cream in my coffee this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons screwed up my
Yeah,
coffee. That was the worst
yeah,
part of my
yeah.
day.
Yeah, I
not,
spilled it.
Not that you had to wait for the water to go down so
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
get into Kenya.
You know, McDonald's coffee sucks now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
There was coffee grounds in it.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
such a
first world problems.
but if people can take a different look at life and give back, so important.
So important. And I feel like I can give whatever I can give. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, if you look to the entire world, there's so many stories out there. We will not always be able to meet the needs of all those, but we can do something
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
about about the one that we know.
Yep.
We can do something, and that's why in Canada, I like Canada because they have just a culture of giving. You know, all this Christmas time, they have all this food bank and stuff like that set up and support people who do not have something, shelters for people who are homeless and stuff like that. That's pretty much cool, and that's why you can see the country. I believe in giving back or giving to something. Really, I get back more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the smile on their face.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
or that graduation ticket.
Exactly. So you can see this country how much is really blessed because they have that culture of giving back.
Yeah.
When I came here, they tell us, you have to get a Canadian experience, and one of the Canadian experiences you have to volunteer. So for me to have my customer service skills, so I went to a call center.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I volunteer in the call center.
Who did you do it for?
For people who want to go hunting, some want to go fishing and
What?
stuff like that. Yeah, in Peterborough, they call in and give them direction, and give them address, and just stuff like that. Yeah.
Peterborough's the spot to do that. So I was about 45 minutes away. I've been working out of town in Havelock.
Where?
In Havelock.
Havelock. Okay.
So you would basically go towards Peterborough,
Yeah.
and once you get off the 11 there, or 35, what it is,
It's 35,
115, 115,
Yeah,
right?
115, yeah.
You turn left, and there's Peterborough's down there.
Yeah.
If you turn to the right,
Yeah.
off of 35,
Yeah.
and you go about 40 minutes down the road,
Yeah.
that's Havelock.
That's before like Colebrook or something like
It's about 20 minutes outside of Campbellford.
that. Oh, okay.
And
I
so
know.
there's a gravel pits out there, and I've been
Campbellford,
working
yeah,
out there.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
there, it's nothing but bush.
Yeah.
So that and no cell phone reception. either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had to get my and now I learn after high school graduate, they do volunteers certain hours.
Yep.
That's giving back, right?
Yep.
That's giving back to the community.
Yep.
And so there's a stronger culture to give the country, growing, right? So we don't have the culture of volunteerism there, but I also don't like the culture of dependency.
Yeah.
Where we ship food and other thing and just feed the people and they don't know what to do next, right? So that's why I think this is pretty cool.
Education is so important.
Yeah, that's a saying that goes like, instead of then somebody fish,
teach them how to fish.
Yeah, teach them how to fish, right?
Yep.
So if they get this education here, then they know how to fish for their life. And when they fish for their life, then they think they can give to someone else too, right? And then life goes on like that, and that's the
Best
coolest
way to
part.
do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the coolest part. Right?
Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, this
Thanks,
was
I
really,
I don't know how long we've been at.
really, we're at 2:15.
Over
That's
2
good.
hours.
Yeah, pretty much, because I got a story. Pretty much.
You
good
do
story.
have a story.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me again.
Yeah, man.
I'm just
Well,
happy we
any-
could do this finally. This was I was really excited to do this, and it definitely
anything that you need to know to add to the story, or to be able to do a better promotion for me,
Yep.
feel free to call me, right? And
Yeah,
I work with
absolutely,
you.
man.
and get a hold of Jeremy if like soccer balls and things like that. Like,
Yeah.
Other than obviously the donations, but material
Clothes.
stuff, you let us know because
Yeah.
I can
We'll
be
put it
saving
out
my
there.
I can be saving my daughter's
We can-
stuff for you.
We can put it out there. Yep.
That's
Thanks,
great.
man. We
Yeah.
really appreciate
Thank
you
All
coming
right.
on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me again.
No problem.
Bye bye.